The Mutapa Empire, a crown of civilization in Africa's glorious past, the Mutapa Empire, often called the Kingdom of Mutapa or Mwene Mutapa, stands as one of the most remarkable chapters in African history, a living testament to the sophistication, creativity, and political genius of precolonial Africa. Flourishing from the 15th to the 18th century, this empire stretched across vast territories of what is today Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and parts of Zambia, and it reigned as a beacon of power, culture, and prosperity. Its story is not merely a record of kings and conquests, but a vivid reflection of Africa's deep-rooted civilization. The roots of the Mutapa Empire lie in the grandeur of Great Zimbabwe, a monumental city of stone and a global trading hub of its age. From this cradle of African civilization emerged Nyatsimba Mutota, a visionary leader who, in the 15th century, journeyed northward in search of salt and fertile lands. He found his place between the mighty Zambezi and Limpopo rivers, and there he established a state that would dominate the region for centuries. Under Mutota's reign, and through the remarkable leadership of his son, Mwene Mutapa, the empire expanded rapidly, absorbing neighboring kingdoms and commanding respect from far and wide. At its zenith, the Mutapa Empire controlled trade routes that linked the African interior to the Swahili coast, Arabia, India, and even China. This was not a hidden kingdom, but a thriving player in the global economy of its time. Gold, ivory, copper, and iron flowed from its heartlands to the ports of the Indian Ocean, where Arab and Portuguese merchants sought the empire's riches. In exchange, Mutapa's people acquired fine textiles, glass beads, porcelain, and other luxuries, proof that this African empire was fully integrated into a sophisticated international trade network centuries before European colonization. Far from the outdated stereotypes of isolation, Mutapa's economy was innovative, organized, and sustainable, built upon agriculture, mining, skilled craftsmanship, and long-distance commerce. At the center of this empire stood the ruler, known as the Mwene Mutapa, owner of the plundered lands, or master of conquered lands. He was both political leader and spiritual guardian, a figure whose authority was rooted not only in power but in tradition. The Mutapa state was an intricate system of provinces, each governed by local leaders loyal to the central authority. Tribute systems ensured wealth flow to the capital, while diplomatic marriages and alliances bound the empire together. This governance reflected a balance between centralized power and respect for local autonomy, a hallmark of effective African statecraft. Spiritual life in the Mutapa Empire was deeply woven into governance and daily living. The people practiced Mwari worship, venerating ancestors and seeking guidance from spirit mediums who played vital roles in political decision-making. This fusion of spirituality and governance ensured that leadership was accountable not only to the people but also to sacred traditions. Art and craftsmanship flourished, from intricate gold jewelry to soapstone carvings and architectural ingenuity. These works were not mere decorations but carried spiritual and cultural significance, expressing the empire's identity and its vision of the world. By the 16th century, Portuguese traders and missionaries had entered the empire's sphere, drawn by tales of wealth and opportunity. Initially, relations were diplomatic, with mutual trade benefits. But as Portuguese ambitions grew, tensions escalated. In 1629, after a failed attempt by the Mwene Mutapa to expel them, the Portuguese deposed the ruler and imposed unfavorable trade and mining concessions. Despite these challenges, the empire remained resilient, continuing to exert influence even as political pressures mounted from both external forces and internal rivalries. By the late 17th century, the rise of the Rozwi Empire overshadowed Mutapa's political dominance, yet the cultural and historical legacy of the empire endured. Mutapa was not simply a kingdom of gold and stone, it was a kingdom of ideas, governance, and vision. It proved that African states could be expansive, prosperous, and diplomatically sophisticated long before the colonial era. Today, the Mutapa Empire remains a symbol of African pride, a reminder that the continent's history is one of innovation, resilience, and grandeur. It stands alongside the great civilizations of the world, not as a footnote, but as a chapter of equal brilliance. For modern African nations, the Mutapa Empire offers more than nostalgia, it offers a blueprint. Its mastery of trade, governance rooted in cultural values, integration with global markets, and respect for spiritual life are lessons for today's leaders. It reminds us that Africa has always been a land of civilization, creativity, and global relevance. The story of Mutapa is not just history, it is a heritage. a heritage that inspires pride, redefines narratives, and strengthens Africa's place in the history of the world.